Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I'm your host, Tony, and we are about to get started. As scheduled, 6:30 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to have some guests in the room and things. It's already sent them the invite. Got a friend of mine, Morpheus, is going to be coming in. This is a very personal friend of mine. Hopefully Omega will be coming back on as well and things. So we got a lot to talk about, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about. But first and foremost, we're talking about, oh man, we're talking about why the midterms are so important for MAGA. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. And why is the midterm so important for MAGA? But before I go into that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just waiting for people to come into the room. I had this one scheduled for 6:30 p.m. exactly on the nose, you know. So in the meantime, while we wait and things, we're going to be, let me see, I got my comments on so I could see the comments. So yeah, so as I said before, we got a lot to talk about. Just waiting for some people to come into the room, and then we can go ahead on and discuss some things. So I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and talk about the midterms in a minute. We're not going to talk about that yet. Let's go ahead and talk about, before we get started on the midterms, we're going to talk about these social influencers, right? Social media influencers and things, and the dark money, the Democrat Party that backs them. I busted a few of them myself. I ain't going to say busted, but I always had a notion or a hunch that they were backed by opposition. You know what I'm saying? So some of you guys have heard me mention before, some of them, but I got the whole list of culprits this time as promised. So therefore, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So with this dark money, right, and things like that, we're talking about influencers. Some of these people, some of y'all may follow them, right? Like Olivia, what's her name? Olivia Juliana. She's a Gen Z activist, right? You know what I'm saying? She spoke at the 2024 DNC convention, right? So we're talking about Olivia Juliana, right? I'm not familiar with her per se, personally, but one thing about it, Olivia Juliana, you know what I'm saying? So she's actually backed by dark money as well. She's a Democratic shield of the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't follow her per se, but I have mentioned Ariel, Fudar, right? She has like 1.5 million on TikTok. So she's a big TikTok influencer, right? And like I said before, they're being influenced up to $8,000 a month by these Democratic shields, right? So she's another one. Now I've been on her live a few times. I am familiar with. She goes by Ari for short, but it's Ariel Folder, you know, Folder, you know. Big TikTok influencer. Have about 1.4 million. And without the help of the deep back money, they sit in these $1 million studios, ladies and gentlemen. You already see what I'm working with, right? I don't have no $1 million studio, right? But you see what they're working with, you know what I mean? And all the rest of it that go right along with it. What about Sandra Jennings, right? This is the trans reality star, right? Sandra is another one, right? This is another deep, dark money that's backed by the Democratic Party. What's the other one? Elizar Orleans, right? She's a NYC public defender. She's another backed, you know what I'm saying? These are influencers as well, right? Lauren, what's that? Peretta, Laura, I hate these names, boy. Peretta, right? Oh man, it don't even matter, man. I'm gonna butcher the names. Fuck them, you know. Democrats podcast host Suzanne Lambert, right? This is another one. David Pacman, you guys have heard me mention him several times. Barrett, he's another one. Barrett Adar, right? These are the people here with the dark money, right? 501c4, right? These are the people right here, right? So if you look at it in things and things like that, these are the ones that have taken the money. They took in the paycheck, right? So therefore, they can spit opposition, right? We're talking about shields of the Democratic Party. This is a disclosed pack, right? You know what I'm saying? They put gag orders on them too. So therefore, they can't talk about this stuff, right? This is how far that the liberal left will go, right? And their job is what? To divide who? MAGA. Because they all know, I'm talking about the DNC, I'm talking about the deep dark money backers, the unelected officials and so forth. They know how powerful MAGA really is. And we're going to talk about that as well because, see, the thing that the psyops that's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and the weakest link are the people. The people are the weakest link. It's not Trump. It's not his administration necessarily. We're talking about the weakest link are the people because people are so easily persuaded. You know what I'm saying? And you have these people, right, that's spitting out all this rhetoric about Israel and all the rest of this stuff. Oh, how Trump is giving a lot of money to Israel. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to bust that myth right now tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to set the record straight on that because I can already tell that many people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They want to believe, and you have some people that are what Trump said, panicans, right? Panicans are people that love to look for negative stuff, right? They love gloom and doom, no matter what, you know? That's how they are, you know what I'm saying, personality-wise, right? They love bad news. They don't think enough of the president to know what he's even doing, you know what I'm saying? You know, so which I can understand it, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that as well, right? So as I go down, as I started to go on, you know, let me see. Well, here we got Ramesh. The January 6th pipe bomber has just been exposed and named female Capitol police officer. Yeah, I'm gonna get on that some other time. I'm gonna be dealing with what I'm talking about right now. So let's stay on topic, please. So other than that, so going back to what I was just mentioning about the panicans and so forth, right? So this is what we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with people, man, that just love doom and gloom. They don't have no faith in the president. They don't have no faith in the government people. This is doom and gloom. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that before I go into the midterms as well, too. We're going to talk about the filibuster, the going nuclear. We're going to talk about all this stuff. In fact, let's go ahead and talk about the filibuster right now because this is important. Everybody else will have to catch up. And I said I was going to try to do this when people get off from work. Why people, here it is right now. Let's go ahead and think about it, right? Nuke it. I say to myself, nuke it. I'm with Trump on this one. In order to pass a clean funding bill, you know what I'm saying? 51 voters to 48, I believe it was, right? So this is what we want. We want nationwide voters, right? Voter ID. We want to end mail-in voting, a ban on no cash bail. We want to ban, we want to put a ban on this type of stuff, right? Stop welfare for illegals, right? Confirm the best judges instantly, right? Cut taxes, border wall funding, emergency delegations, right? So this is basically what it is, right? So this is the stuff we're going to go and talk about. We want a nationwide voter ID. This is very, very important because with the left, they've been cheating for years. And they know that they don't have the opposition. They don't really have the control anymore for the nationwide vote. But for the local vote, they have a lot of power, as you guys can see in these blue states. And I want to kind of get on the MAGA as well for that, though, you know, because like I said, in these cities, you know, and it didn't matter anyway if a lot of the MAGA, I ain't gonna say get on the MAGA and get on people, because here it is. They still had the voting rig, the voting, you know, the gerrymandering being rigged. They have it rigged in their favor in these on the local side of it. I'm talking about the Democrats. Illinois is rigged, New York is rigged. You know, you look at other blue cities, most of your blue cities are rigged. This is why they don't like the nationwide voter ID. They hate that, right? You know, they love the mail-in ballots because that could be what? Manipulated, right? These are the things right here. These are the things that they standing on, right? And this is the reason that we already know people like Mondami and all these people, there's no reason in the world that they could have gotten in there like that, right? But they got in here by hook or by crook. And if we go nuclear, we got to use the N-word here, not that N-word, but nuclear N-word, right? We have to go with that to get rid of the filibuster. Therefore, Trump can go right in, right? And just, we can vote this in immediately, right? Because we have enough people, 50 votes to do it. We can do it easily, right? Get, you know, nationwide voter ID, end the vote in, mail-in ballot type of stuff, you know? We could put a ban on no cash bails. We can ban that already, because look at it. You have criminals, repeat offenders going in and going out. It's like a revolving door. And this is why things don't ever get done. Look at how the blue states are. They care more about the criminals, as they know, because they need the criminals. These are their foot soldiers, ladies and gentlemen, straight up. So this is why they want to put a ban on no cash. I mean, you know, they don't want a ban on no cash bail. We do, but they don't. Stop welfare for illegals. You know, with the Dems, they want to keep on pushing for welfare for illegals. You guys that are swinging in the middle, unsure, even as a Democrat, you guys, you realize that the country, the way that these into the DNC and all the rest of them, they allow these illegals into this country, right? Because this is their constituents. These are their voting blocks, right? And I'm going to be doing more and more up until the midterms, where I'm going to be pushing this particular topic that we're talking about right now, because I have to do the canvassing. Do y'all realize that the Democrats are already out here canvassing? I'm talking about at the local levels, not at the national levels, but at the local levels. And we as MAGA, not talking about a party per se, I'm talking about making America great. How do you do that? Well, we have to be made aware, and we have to get out here and start canvassing as well. We have to get out here and be up in the face of people, giving them the real information, right? I'm talking about stuff of what the Dems are already doing on the local front, right? Because it is a possibility now, if we don't get this filibuster going through and things like this, we're going to have a hell of a time, because we haven't beat the Democrats by very much. 52 to 48 is not very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like a landslide. We need a landslide. Trump needs total control of the House and Senate. And by allowing the filibuster to be removed, he can get it done. Now just let that marinate for a minute. He can get that done, ladies and gentlemen. The filibuster must go. He has to go nuclear. He has to. There's no other way, because we can't allow the Dems to go nuclear and using it, because they've been wanting to get rid of the filibuster. This was the Dems' idea originally anyway. And they're waiting and salivating on doing this. Do y'all realize that this is not just a regular election? You got to get on board with Trump. He's the best thing that we have. And this is more for the people that straddle in the middle, as well as some of these Democrats. You want communism? Do you want socialism? Look at New York. New York is about to fall, right? You're going to have every criminal from north, east, south, and west going to New York. They're going to be heading over there because the criminals know, hey, this is a safe haven for me to be in New York City, and I can do as much crime and violence as I possibly can because it's going to go unchecked. We don't have to worry about anything, right? I mean, this is exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they feel. Criminals love a safe haven, right? And New York is going to be the safe haven for criminals. They love it. Just keeping it real, right? Because if you are not convinced by now that they're trying to take over America, I got a bridge to sell you, straight up. I got a bridge to sell you. So it's time that people start waking up. This ain't nothing to start playing around with now. I want everybody to stay on topic of what I'm talking about because this is very important. All this other stuff, Epstein and all that stuff, I'm not saying it doesn't have a place. It just doesn't have a place in here right now because we're talking about the midterms. Soon it's going to be up on us. And what I'm saying is that we have to start canvassing. We have to start getting out here more, and we're going to have to start talking to the people that are either unsure, just like we did with Kamala Harris. That same fire should be towards Trump. It really should. I'm talking about the midterms right now, right? Because do you guys realize you really don't know what's at stake if this thing doesn't go through, right? Now, Thune is already against getting rid of the filibuster. Thune is another, and I've said this before, you have a list of rhino Republicans, right? You have a list of them. And Thune is no different, right? In fact, Trump did this on purpose to kind of smoke out. How do you smoke out a critter that's in the hole? It's a way to do it. You got to smoke them out. Because trying to get him out the conventional way, you ain't going to be able to do that, right? So and let's go ahead and figure it out right now. This is pretty easy. Who are the rhinos, right? Because they're all up in the government. And this is another thing that's giving MAGA somewhat of an issue in government because the rhinos, right? They support, just to kind of give it, the rhinos, which means Republican in name only, they support tax hikes, back gun control, right? Pro-choice, right? They favor big government programs, right? And when you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, they support these programs as to why. Because we know they can stay in. They in partnership with the liberal demo KKK rats, as MAGA has poetically put it. You know what I'm saying? So this is basically what it is, though, right? So we're going to go down through the list of some of them. There's a list of them, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Senator Arlen Spencer, you know, right? Right? Government Christy Todd, right? Whitman of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maine, U.S. Olympia Snow, right? Susan Collins, right? These are the people right here. This is a list of them. We go down the list. Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, right? Mitt Romney, Mike Pence, Brian Kemp, right? Lisa Murkowski, right? Bill Burr, right? John Bolton, even though he's under, indictments right now, right? These people work in concert with who? The left, because again, they are part of the left. Mitch McConnell, right? Todd Cotton, right? John Thune, as you heard me mention earlier, right? Yeah, we're going to go there tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I got a little time. I got about an hour. But as I got time right now, ladies and gentlemen, looking at my wrist, I got time today. Fuck it, I'm crossing the line today. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what it is. You know, this is what's going on. You got the rhinos, right? They have been aside in the MAGA and they have been decided a long time. Many of you that are Republicans that go way back, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about Dick Cheney, Bush Jr., Sr. Some of y'all that have been Republican a long time. Have you ever noticed that things never got done on the right either? They are working in concert with the left. In fact, they are lockstep with the left. Same agenda. The people that I just named, ladies and gentlemen, are a major, major problem when it comes down to MAGA. And these rhino Republicans got to be removed. They really do. They mean the country no good, and they have the same agenda or as well as on the left. This is why ish don't never get done, right? This is basically what it is. These people are a threat to making America great again. It ain't just a Republican make America great again. It's anybody that want to see America make America great again, right? This is exactly what it is. So as I steady go down here, yeah, the filibuster must be removed, right? We have to get rid of it, right? This is exactly is what's going on here. This is what Trump's exact words were. So therefore, there's no misquote. If Republicans kill the filibuster, we sail to victory for many years. If not, disasters waiting to happen. This is coming from Trump. I just read, quote, this is exactly what Trump said. And he's absolutely right. If you care about America, you care about the future of your children, you should be voting MAGA. Straight like that. Because it's bigger than being Republican. MAGA is a movement that swept the nation. This ain't about liking and loving a president. This is about seeing future of the country itself. We may not have a country left if the low-down commie left get their turn at it. The stupid people that decide to vote with Mondami and people like that, you know, and this is one of the reasons that you don't want to be leaving chance up like that to stupid people and stupid liberal women. They just voted for him just to spite Trump. They don't know policy. They have no idea of what's going on. That's why I don't take them serious, you know, dealing with that. But we must go nuclear. Yeah, this is how it is. We got to. This is the only way that we can basically save the republic, because this is what it's about. And these people that I named, we're talking about these old low-down ass rhino Republicans, right? Right? And then let's go ahead and say it. Some Republicans say no. It protects the minority, right? Next time Democrats control the Senate, they could pass open borders, gun confiscation, court packing, and the new Green Deal. And I'm gonna say that again, because this right here is bigger than life. If you let the Democrats take control of the Senate, open borders, gun confiscation, court packings, and Green New Deal, right? This is what's going to go on. It ain't no maybe, ain't no if. This is exactly what they're going to do. And they're going to weaponize the whole Senate, the government, to go after any of its opposition, right? And they're gonna go at them in any cause. It's gonna be a relentless hunt, kind of like the movie Star Wars. Y'all remember Senator Palpatine, right? Senator Palpatine, right? Which was Darth Sidious in disguise. Senator Palpatine fooled everybody, even the Jedi. He was really like this master dark, I guess you could say overlord, right? Of the government, of the Senate at the time, right? I mean, of the Republic. before it became an empire, right? He had everybody food, right? And then when he got in there, you know, he started executing orders. When he executed execute order 66, that was a relentless war out on the Jedi, hunting them down and murdered and slaughtered every last one of them. This is one of the reasons why the Jedi went extinct. So therefore, I just wanted to bring that up. You know what I'm saying? Because this is exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get serious. Go and cut the music now. We got to go on and get serious now. Let's get serious. This is exactly what's going on. You got Senator Thune, Massey, Curtis, Mullins, right? These are the people saying power flip, keep the brake on the pedal. This is what they believe, right? Keep that brake on the pedal. Do not allow Trump to get rid of the filibuster, right? Because they know what that means, right? So this is basically what it is, though. This is basically what it is. I'm just saying. 51 votes plus VP tie break, right? Right? This is basically what it is. Because we haven't won by that much, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. We haven't won very much for the Senate, let alone we just haven't. We need to, it has to be a landslide, right? This is the only way. Let me go ahead and drop that link down as well, too, because I got to cover some other things, though, too. Yeah, let me go ahead and drop that link. Mega, if you're around there, I sent you the link. I think I did. But let me go ahead and I'll drop that link down here. Hold on for one moment. Let's go ahead and drop that link. I'm going to drop that link. Drop that link. All right, there we go. All right, so I dropped that link. There we go, right there. Yep, so there it is. Yep, so, but yeah, but other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is very serious, though, for real. It's very serious. I'm talking about the midterms. My mind is already on the midterms. All this other stuff is smoke and mirrors, ladies and gentlemen. It's the distraction done purposely to get you to take your eyes off the prize. As I did my other live, MAGA is under a threat of being separated because of this stupidity about how Trump funding the Jews and all this other kind of nonsense, you know, which we're going to debunk tonight as well, too, while I got time still, you know, because like I said before, they on the left, they know how powerful MAGA really is. It's a movement that overswept the nation, right? They saw things differently from 2020 to 2024. This is the reason why. You got stupid people on the left, stupid people that are moderate, and then some stupid people on the right, right? They actually believe that this is just a regular election and how things are. We are under a totalitarian threat system, whether people know it or not. Let's go ahead and keep it real. You don't go after a man the way that they went after this guy, man. You don't go after people like that unless this guy is a major threat. And we're talking about Trump, right? This is not a regular midterms, ladies and gentlemen. This is not regular. I just want to mention this right now. I've been talking about the filibuster. I've been talking about how important it is to go ahead and nuke them. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and go further down, though, too, with it. Because like I said before, nationwide voter ID is what we want on the right. We want the mail-in ballots, ban on cash, no cash bail, right? Stop welfare for illegals, confirm the best judges instantly, because we have to get our judges in placement, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why you haven't seen any arrests right now, because we're still dealing with Biden-appointed judges, Obama-appointed judges, and some of the Clinton-appointed judges. How are you going to go after people? They got the evidence, but think about it. This is common sense. You mean to tell me Okay, I saw something, video, got all the information, also recorded. But if I got a corrupt judge, all he's going to do is do what? It'll be a sweetheart deal and he'll be back out. So we have to be very careful with this thing, though, right? And this is why we must get rid of the filibuster. Therefore, we can allow Trump to go in here and do what needs to be done. This is not a regular election, ladies and gentlemen. This is for the whole enchilada. This is what it's all about. More tax cuts, right? Border wall funding, emergency deregulations, right? Right? This is what we want. We need more border funding, right? For the wall. We need more energy deregulations. All these regulations on energy, stopping the drilling and all this other stuff. It's one of the things that Trump ran on his campaign promise. Drill, baby, drill. Drill, drill, drill. Drill, baby, drill. This is what it was all about, right? Trump even declared it as an emergency, an energy emergency, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that really means? That means that because America is not producing its own energy, we're relying on it on other people. There's no reason in the world that we should be getting oil from Saudi Arabia and all the rest of these places when we have enough oil reserves more than Saudi Arabia here in America. But this came from the left because they wanted to kill America's independency when it come down to energy, right? They wanted to make us helpless, and they was doing a good job with it. You think that Biden and Obama and all the rest of them, right? They don't mean us no good. They mean us a lot of harm, ladies and gentlemen, because you can look at what Biden's policies, which is really Obama, right? Because we know Biden wasn't running ish. It was always Obama. All the roads lead to Obama. And this is one of the main reasons. We go ahead and nuke it. We get rid of the filibuster, right? Once that is gone, Trump can go ahead and appoint his judges in placement, right? We can go ahead and stop, let's say, put a ban on the no cash bail deals. Therefore, when Antifa and these other idiots start acting up, they don't get out. We need more judges like Judge Perino. You know what I'm talking about. We need more of her, right? Janine Pirro. We need more judges like her. Swift, tough, fair. That's who we need, right? We need to end the mail-in ballot as well, as you heard me mention before. A nationwide voter ID must be put into place. So therefore, it would make it impossible for the low-down Democrats to keep cheating. The reason they've been cheating on the local front, because they lost the national, but they do have power on the local. And this is what they're going to be doing. They still have those illegal ass ballot machines that can basically flip it. When you guys going down there and voting, you thinking you're making a difference voting, all the votes are going to swing blue, just like they did before. And they will try again on the midterms because the Dems know how important it is. So this is basically what it is. We go ahead and nuke it now, we can kill it. We can kill it. We already exposed who all the rhinos are, right? Because the rhinos is Republican in name only. They've never been about making America great. You know, as long as they can keep a cinchy job, they get paid millions and billions of dollars. They're on the payroll with the lobbyists, pharmaceutical lobbyists, and all the rest of them. And I said I want to start banging more on the rhinos because the rhinos are just as guilty, ladies and gentlemen, as they are on the left. You know the left ain't no good. And you also got the rhinos that ain't no good either. All these is just puppets and props. They serve the same master. Make no mistakes about it, right? And I said I'm going to start doing this more because as we start to canvas, we start spreading information. I'm talking about true information as to what is going on. This is a fight for the Republic, the fight for America. There's nowhere else that y'all can go. If you let America go, and knowing that you could have been out here making a difference, shouldn't be about your job, shouldn't be about any other thing. It should be about where you live at. If you don't protect where you live at, where else can you go? because it's going to be a relent hunt out here. You talking about like a Star Wars reference, Executive Order 66? That is possible. I'm just here. I'm just sounding the alarm now. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to stand for something. A man that don't stand for something fall for everything, right? Straight like that. Shit. Right? So ain't nothing wrong with many of you. You guys need to get your channels up. Start your pages. Get out here and do your part. You got information, do it. Right? Because it ain't going to get done. If you say that I'm going to do it, that means you ain't going to do it. It should be, the answer should be, I'm going to do it now. Do it now. That what fights procrastination. Do it now. You know, I got fed up. Do it now. I'm talking about you potential influencers and influencers, right? You live here in America too, right? If you want to be up under some type of communist, socialist programs and other things, because it get much worse, communism don't work nowhere. Look at the people already. Look at China, right? Look at Russia, China, North Korea. You got examples, right? Do those people over there look happy? Every last one of you that I can tell already, you really don't know. Some of you really don't know what communism really is. Karl Marx and none of it. Because all I got to do is point to those other countries that I just mentioned, right? You think that abortion and all this shit that you're going to be able to do, you can't do it over there. It's a totalitarian system, right? This is Omega. Sorry, my guy. My phone, was on a phone call. I got you, but may come back. I'm going to say, okay, I got you though. Okay, it's all good. Yep, it's all good. I'm gonna have Brother Ralph to come in too, but it's good. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm over here sounding the alarm now on what Trump has to do of getting rid of the filibuster, as I mentioned before. Right? I already talked about who all the rhinos are before. Some of you guys are coming in right now to this chat. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, right? What we're talking about, once again, let me go ahead and say it again, right? Because on the left, if they become, the minority group becomes the majority in the Senate, they're going to they're going to have open borders once again, gun confiscation, court packings, and the Green New Deal. This means that everything that Trump was doing just goes for nothing. And this is just the start, ladies and gentlemen, right? This is exactly what's going on here. We do not have enough control, right, in the House, let alone the Senate. We don't. It should be a landslide, not make it by 52 to 48. That's not enough. That's razor thin difference, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to be the majority. We want to control the whole fucking House and the Senate. And how is that made possible? Getting rid of the filibuster, right? Keeping MAGA strong and united. Stay off these topics with Epstein. That stuff is being taken care of. Nobody's running from the Epstein stuff, but they are using this to divide MAGA. Telling you right now, they're using the Jewish thing to divide MAGA. Some of y'all fell on that bullshit. And we're going to talk about that too. So therefore, it's clear, because I fact checked with some of the powerfulest AI that some of you already know, because I don't deal with ChatGPT. That's a leaning left bias, right? You got to know which ones that you're going to be able to pull the stuff up. So therefore, you can get the factual information. Don't spit out propaganda for stuff that you don't know. And that's for anybody in this, anybody in general, right? Because this is how they get down. They have you to follow these tunnels, these rabbit holes of conspiracy that leads nowhere but more conspiracy. We don't have time to be following conspiracy. We should be dealing with facts and saving this country. How in the hell can we talk about all these other things when we're dealing with the known enemy right now is here in America? We have a party that wants totalitarian control, and they're going to do it through what? Karl Marxist socialism, right? Communism, fascism. This is the stuff that they're leading with. New York is already falling right now. That should have never happened. But hey, it is what it is. A lot of people from the right that moved out of New York. You even have police officers that are basically saying this. They're quitting being a police officer, quitting their jobs, because soon as Mondami became the mayor, you got an influx of police officers to say, F that. If this mayor ain't going to back the police officers, I don't want to be a police officer no more. You can't blame them. If I was a police officer, I wouldn't want to be a police officer. For what? What would be the benefit of being a police officer, right, when your own fucking mayor won't back the police officers? And Mondami said it, if ICE go in there, he's going to be arresting ICE. He's for illegals. He's for terrorist organizations. This is why he never talked down to Hamas and none of these people, right? Because they all part of the brotherhood, the Muslim brotherhood, right? Y'all got to wake up, man. This is fucked up. You know, the city of my birth, New York, and seeing my city go down. Look at this bullshit. Got a Muslim mayor that is a terrorist because he didn't put down Hamas. So if you ain't put down, you didn't put down Hamas. So what does that make him? He's talking all on the bullet points of someone that is anti-Constitution of the United States. He's anti-capitalism. He's talking about coming after rich white people. I don't know that many rich white people at all myself, but he's going after them. He's pushing people out of New York purposely and inviting the criminals in. And this is a damn shame. Because you mean to tell me MAGA well, it didn't matter anyway. It didn't matter because they have the rigging system. Can't you guys understand? The voting system is rigged on the local levels of the cities. It wouldn't matter if a million Republicans showed up. As long as the Dems are controlling the outcome, which they are, this is why that guy Mondami got in there by not by very much, but he got in there. And we know that what made that possible was the rigging system, right? And that Curtis dude, he ain't shit either. Guardian Angels dude, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? He ain't shit either. Right? Because he backed Mondami. Fuck Curtis, man. Don't need no guardian angels anyway. Right? We in a different time now. We got ICE. You know what I'm saying? Let the real police officers handle this. You sit down. You got too old and too soft. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so back on the other thing though, ladies and gentlemen, shit. This is why this is not a regular midterms. This is for the whole enchilada. And I'm going to be banging on this a lot more because, like I said before, we should be out here canvassing now. The Democratic left is out here canvassing. For real, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? 47 Democrats hold 330 million Americans hostage. This is what's going on right now. Because to the shutdown, ladies and gentlemen, 47 Democrats. Trump didn't do this. It's the Dems that did this, right? They are the ones responsible for your shutdowns and all this other stuff. How dare you come back and want to report this on Republicans? Shit. You know? I already said what it was anyway, right? Because like I said before, what the Democrats wanted, they wanted to have their open borders. They don't want the voter ID. This was all in the CR thing. They didn't want any of this. They want to continue with the cash bail. They want welfare for who? Illegals, which are their constituents, right? They want their judges in place, the crooked, corrupt ass you know what judges, 600 of them in these low 9th district courts and Pelham courts and all the rest of them. Obama appointed, right? Biden appointed, and some old Clinton appointed. You can't arrest people right now if we don't have the people in place. We don't have it, right? Because other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is hey, Joe, what's going on? Joe Mama in the house. We got Omega and Joe in the house. Not affecting me at all. But if it hurting you, you better pull one thing out of another, right? Well, yeah, because I mean, it's the shutdown is not hurting me per se, but it is hurting the people, which is majority of the constituents on the left for sure. Because we talk about government programs, Joe. We talking about other things, even with the aviation right now. Who would have figured? But now, this all affects that as well. People can't travel like they want to. I'm good. Just like a lot of these senators and politicians are good. They good because they make it. What is it? I said it the other day, Joe. Who is it? Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer is worth $7 billion, right? He started getting paid. All of your senators, congressmen, you know this. They're all getting paid. They can withstand the rain for a very long time. Doesn't affect them, right? This is what it is. But the people, their so-called constituents, are affected, right? But I'm talking about the overall picture, right? The filibuster must go. Therefore, we can get the people, the judges in, and people that need, that way can go ahead. We don't need to deal with the Senate on the left. Trump can go right in and start implementing his policies right away without no type of interruption. The problem is you got these low down ass, rhino ass Republicans, meaning Republican in name only, like Thune, right? These are the people in Massey, Curtis, and Mullins. These are the main ones, right? And there's a list of other ones I mentioned as well. These are the ones that have to go. We got to get rid of them, man. We just got to get rid of them. We're going to get rid of them one way or the other because they are the problem, right? Those people that I named, these rhino-ass Republicans ain't never been about making America great. It's about making themselves great, keeping money in their own pocket. This is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, here it is, though, man. You got these low down on both sides, right? Right on Republicans. You also have the Dems on the left. You know they ain't no good, right? But we get rid of the filibuster. We can go in here because this is about saving the republic. And I'm telling you, like I said earlier, man, because any of y'all watch that Star Wars reference, Executive Order 66, this is exactly what's going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Let me go and read these comments real quick before I get backed up and behind. Mega says, cut out that insider trading, right? And make it so that they pay for holding office directly. Exactly. And I think that may be on the list though too, Omega. I believe so. Okay. We're tired. We tried to. Okay, got my. Where's my glasses at? Hold on for a minute. Let me get my glasses. Can't talk to her right now. No, can't talk to her right now. No. Okay. Okay, here it is. Hold on for a minute. God damn it. Okay, there we go. Okay, holding office directly tied to if the government is open. We would never see a shutdown ever again. Exactly. We have to get rid of the filibuster. Therefore, because that's the only weapon that the Dems are using. And now that they're backed in the corner. And I believe that Trump is going to be victorious in getting rid of the filibuster. Because that's the government shutdown is the only thing, you're right though, Omega, the only thing that the left have to bear to play with the government shutdown. This ain't about the people. They're playing politics with people's lives. Xavier says, GOP guardians, ooh, boy, Rolling Thunder, ooh, boy. Yeah, man. Not gonna give that no type of ammunition though. And they could be a bot. Could be a shield or a bot. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to even read that. Joe, so Joe says that's another good reason not to trust those snakes. And what happens when the Dems go back in power and the mob rules 51 bolts, gun bans? I said that earlier before you got in here. There's a list of things that's going to happen, though, Joe. There's a list of things. And then Joe says, then what's the sense of the constitutional republic? It goes away. It goes away because we're going to be overran by who? Socialist, communist ass bastards that we could have stopped a long time ago, right? That's exactly what it is. You know, the Constitution and the Republic dies. We have to be active. We have to get out here. The midterms is really not that far away. The Dems are out here doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying get rid of it for right now. I'm saying get rid of it because, again, we don't have enough. I'm just saying right now, Joe, we don't have enough people, man. We don't have enough people. What do we have? Come on now, turn off. Damn. It just keep turning back. Hold on for a minute, y'all. I'm going to kill this. Hold on for a minute. There we go. Now you won't start back up. Now, there we go. How you like them apples. So what I'm saying is you get rid of it. Because if you're advocating for keeping the filibuster, what you really are saying is simply this. We don't have enough people, right? We're running. We don't want it because notice what the left is doing, though, Joe. They're throwing these injunctions down all the way up to the midterms. If we don't have the filibuster, then what you think is going to happen? He's going to get injunction after injunction after injunction after injunction after injunction. This is the plan, right? All the way up to the midterms. By that time, it's too late. We have to get the judges in there now. We have to have their arrests now. I'm advocating getting rid of the filibuster now. It ain't no waiting no more. Democrats ain't never played fair. We don't have to play fair, man. We don't have to play fair, right? And I stand on that with everything I love. Get rid of it for right now. So therefore, this is about saving America, right? This ain't just no regular silly vote dealing with the midterms. We must get rid of it for right now. And I'm a constitutionalist like you. But if the people on the left ain't never been about the Constitution, shit, we've been following the rules. They ain't been following the rules. Who's been winning? Who's been losing? We barely got enough people in the Senate. I mean, damn, what, 51 to 48? That's not a lot of people. You need 60. Where's the other people coming from? I'm just saying, where are the people? In fact, they done picked up a couple of seats on the local front. Come on now. I'm just saying, man, it ain't looking good right now. If we go the same study course, it ain't looking good, my friend. It's not looking good. We must get rid of the filibuster. Trump knows what he's been doing. He knows what he's doing. There's nobody that knows who the left. He knows them by name. He knows the whole book in the script. We just getting information. We don't know what he knows. But I've been betting with Trump ever since. I've been riding with Trump since 2016. And so far, so good. He ain't been wrong yet. I'm just saying, he learned a lot since 2016, and which makes him, I'm confident in Trump. I'm confident in my president. I'm confident that we're going to prevail and overcome. And if he's saying do this, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, though, Joe, because nobody else's system haven't worked. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? The tariffs is looking great. America, with that alone, man, all the money coming in, people talking about Israel and all this bullshit, when we should be dealing with what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying? The stuff over here is going to not only affect us here, it's going to affect the whole world. We have to win, man. We don't have enough people and enough seats. You know what I'm saying? We just don't. I don't consider that as a landslide victory. It was okay, the House and the Senate, but we know it could have been much greater than that because of their jerry rigging ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you say keep the filibuster. Okay, all right, yeah, okay, right. Okay, let's see here. That means sense of the Constitution, keep the filibuster. No, but I'm just saying though, right? The way that the local front is, talking about the local governments, you know the Dems still control the voting hacked rigging apparatus, right? They control that at the local level, right? All I'm saying is that we need to have laws in place. So therefore, they can't, because we need same-day voting, same-day results, same day type stuff. The stuff that the left do not want. And to get the rest of these illegals out of America. This is his campaign promise. I'm right with him on that one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is exactly what it is, man. And everybody out there, I'm just saying though, for what it really is. Let me see here. What else? I already talked about the dark money behind a lot of these social influencers. I'm gonna mention a few of them again. Some of them you guys may know of, like David Pakman. I said that about him many a times. Olivia Giuliana, she's at the top of the list. She spoke at the 2024 DNC convention, right? You have Ariel Folder, right? I've mentioned Ari many a times, right? It was obvious that they were Democratic shields, right? You got Sandra Jennings. She's another one. Eliza Orlins, right? Lauren Peretra, right? Suzanne Lambert. She's another one. These are Democratic shields. Their job is to run opposition, right? To muddy up the water, hide the truth, get you to get on Israel and all these other things, right? They play word semantics, right? This is what they do. They never stick to the actual issues or deal with the actual facts. Joe says, however, the Demo clan will be erased from the filibuster, and instead they would get greater in 50 seats, pack the courts, and everything. Realistically, I say the directive, okay, what's that? Directive 51, this shit. Okay. Let me see. Omega says, make it so that it will be difficult for the Demo clan to reverse anything rammed by a simple majority. Yeah, and that's what I do believe, guys. I believe that that's what they're going to actually do, because there's some things that have to be put in Constitution. You know what I'm saying? Where it would have to be put there to be able to protect the republic of the future to come. You know what I'm saying? Because they have to, like Trump said, he's not looking just to win. He has to totally eradicate the deep state. Draining the swamp is part of it, but this is a relentless hunt until each and every one of them are out of power. Because as long as they have a little power, they can still cause a problem and a threat to this republic as well. They can have a threat. The Constitution and Republic, but they can have it could be a threat to it. These suckers ain't played by the rules. They never ever played by the rules or whatever, right? And I ain't playing by the rules, like I said before, now that a lot of their dark money puppets have already been exposed up to $8,000. That's why they have these sweet ass studios. My studio don't look like that. I'm off a shoestring budget. Then some of them got like $1 million studio, My friend was telling me about Officer Tatum. What's y'all opinion about Officer Tatum? Before I even say anything myself, what's y'all opinion about Officer Tatum? Y'all think he's compromised? I'm just curious, right? Officer Tatum. What do y'all think? Is Officer Tatum compromised? That's all I'm just asking you guys. What do y'all think? And give me, whoops. Okay, sorry about that. Y'all, I had a phone call that came in. So yeah, what do y'all indifferent to, Officer Tatum? We haven't been a constitutional republic since, I know, right? I understand that, but you know, it will be nice that I believe that that's where we're heading. That's me. That's my personal opinion. That we're heading back towards that in that direction, the way it should have been in the beginning. We should have never been under this mob rule shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it allowed too many corruption, allowed a lot of things to come into place. But I'm just saying, though, you know, Officer Tatum, what do you think? Because I mean, myself, I'm a little indifferent to him as well. But there's some, I heard a friend of mine that talked about him as well. He was talking about some interview that he had and things. I'm hoping that he was going to come on so that way he can go ahead and talk about it. But let's go. There's something else I said I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of stuff about Trump donating money to Israel. I was trying to wait for my buddy to come on here so we could kind of talk about it. Because Omega, I think he asked you the same question about Trump. I'm talking about Ralph the last time he was in here. And Ralph believes that Trump have been compromised by Israel. And I beg to differ. And what I'm going to bring up is about that is the reason why I beg to differ, because I went on and fact checked it, and I went and looked. In fact, there was no. It says here no evidence that Trump is personally donating money to Israel as of November 2025. However, he has made personal donations to Israel, causing the pass, right, of $10,000 to institutions in the West Bank settlement, right, way back in 2003, right? This is basically what has been said here, right? So if we were to dive into this thing a little deeper, Trump, let me see here. Trump administration is actively providing significant U.S. military aid, right? Actively providing, right? U.S. military aid weapons sales, not donating, not giving taxpayers, but selling weapons. U.S. weapon aid and weapon sales to Israel, totaling at least $12 billion in provided foreign military sales, right? Since the taking of the office in 2025. This includes bypassing Congress to send billions in weaponry, proposing an additional nearly $6 billion in sales. So before I go any further, the whole thing that I've been reading, it says in sales, meaning Israel is buying our weaponry. Why are they buying our weaponry? Because they have enemies surrounding Israel. So, of course, the United States is going to sell weapons. And he was said, there's no giving, there's no donating. So I've been waiting for my friend to come on here so I can basically say, I said I'm going to be doing this thing on the live since you brought it up. Because you have people that are on the left spitting out misinformation, right? We call this automatic propaganda and misinformation to get you to side with, Palestine. We understand what Palestine is going through, but you do understand that Hamas, right? We're talking about people in Palestine, right? Who is their backers? Deep state. We're talking about, who is we talking about here? We're talking about state-funded terrorists, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is what it is. He's selling weaponry, not donating U.S. taxpayer dollar weaponry, selling weaponry, right? That's a whole different animal. Omega says we still have the same problem under the Constitutional Republic. So in reality, reverting to the Constitutional Republic, blah, 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 you know, and feds is secondary. Let me see here, read more. Hold on for a minute. It says read more. Okay, Constitutional Republic, and the states are topped and the feds is secondary. More communism. Yeah, we need to get rid of it though, man. I know it ain't no perfect system out here. Let me see here. Omega says, can't, okay, cart before the horse. Israel is a U.S. puppet. Yeah, Israel is a U.S. puppet. It's a puppet, but Trump is controlling Israel. Israel is not controlling Trump at all. If you can be honest, Netanyahu, is where that name comes from. It is the traitorous alley who thinks he is bigger than what he is. I'm not a big advocate for Israel and his policies, but what I'm saying is that what's going on is designed to take you off the big picture. And this is where MAGA, in my opinion, if they're not careful, you rather go with the propaganda stuff or we're going to deal with where we live at. You know what I'm saying? Because like it is, we can't save everybody, right? Because if we were to go deeper, right, who's been funding? Who's been funding, right? Yeah, David Rothschild, right. Who's been funding, right, the state terrorists over there in Gaza and all the rest of them, right? We got my people right back over here in America that's been doing it. This was a situation that's been going on way back since Obama and them. Let's be real, the Muslim Brotherhood and all the rest of it. Let's go. People don't talk about that. Why don't they talk about that? State-funded terrorists. They didn't just become terrorists on their own. They had to been who? Funded by who? By right over here in the United States with what's going on over here. That's who's been funding them. State-funded terrorists, right? Right? So now that a lot of these state-funded terrorists is under attack, they've been cited as being terrorists and so forth, which they are, right? Ain't no place gonna be perfect. But I'm still gonna put it all on Trump, right? Because Trump is the best thing we got, man. I'm being really honest. And ain't nobody else that I know of that could even put on his shoes. And that's even including Netanyahu. Ain't nobody could put on Trump's shoes but Trump. Bro, David Rockefeller put the money up for Israel. Is not a puppet. Well, yeah, David Rockefeller. Yeah, I know about David Rockefeller though. About that as well. But what I'm saying is simply this: there is some deep, just like America got deep puppets, Israel got deep dark puppets up in there as well. I ain't gonna call them puppets, but I'm talking about people that are controllers, right? This goes way back, right? And what we know that we're talking about the Rothschild son, Rockefeller. David Rothschild, right? Rockefeller. David Rothschild has a lot to do with the establishment of building the Jewish state. I'm on board with you. I'm aware of that. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that put it all in place and made it happen. You're absolutely correct. I'm not discounting that though. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is we don't need to be concerned with that, because what I'm saying is we got to deal with cleaning house here first before we can start dealing with Israel second. If you whoever that Trump is in alignment with Israel, I'm sure he got some allies in Israel. That's great. His whole capitulation tour, right? Meaning submission, right? So if Netanyahu submitted under a Trump capitulation tour, that means that Yahoo is working for Trump on behalf of Trump. And he ain't the only one. Xi Jinping is also capitulated to Trump. Who owns the Federal Reserve? Well, I mean, yeah, let's talk about it though, right? Your Federal Reserve is owned by international banksters. Rothschild is one of them. If you put the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and all the rest of them in the place, those are be the masterminds behind the Federal Reserve, which is what Trump is trying to get rid of. Well, if it is Rothschild, Trump is still trying to get rid of the Federal Reserve. That's what he's trying to do, though, Joe. Our problem is the Federal Reserve Bank. You remember I said this many of times. This is the fight right here. right? It's a very good chance that Trump, with his parallel economy, he's competing with who? The Federal Reserve Bank with the tariffs, right? Where did all the others get their money? Right? Who you talking about all the others? You talking about who's all the others you talking about where they got their money? And I'm glad we're talking about this too, by the way. Because we're gonna bust it all up here tonight. You know what I'm saying? Regards to this. There is a war going on between the Federal Reserve Bank and Trump and the tariffs, right? There's a war going on. Yeah, Astor, what's his name? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Astor, Rockefeller. You know, you talking about Collins, you talking about the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati. You talking about the ones that can have the controllers and all this other type of stuff. DuPonts, Carnegies, etc. You left out Rockefellers too. Right? You got, like you said, big money JP Morgan, right? What's the German dudes made a hotel in New York after and all that, you know? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing about it. Yeah, right. And this is what I'm saying though. Trump is on the right path right now. He's competing against the Federal Reserve, which is nothing but a central bank of the Rothschild, the Red Cross, right? Or the Red Shield, whichever his name really means. But yeah, he's competing with them on that. They don't like it because, look at it, Trump is steady accumulating wealth for the country, right? With the tariffs that are coming in from these other nations, right? Steady filling up the coffers, right? Until the point when we can go ahead and get rid of the Federal Reserve Bank. And this is what it's really about. Because the problem that we are all having right now with inflation, because we already know that the government borrows money from who? The Federal Reserve Bank, which is constantly causing the interest to go up higher and higher and higher, right? Let me see, Omega, how much money did Morgan have when he hooked? Yeah, how much money Morgan had? JP Morgan. Yep. But yeah, that's what I'm just saying, though. That's a question for him now, for Omega, you know. But like I said, man, Trump, on the other hand, right, he's competing with the Federal Reserve, and he's doing a very excellent job of doing it. This is what they don't like. That's why they want to get rid of get rid of the tariffs anyway. This guy, they never thought that Trump would be bringing in millions and millions. We're talking billions, billions of dollars into the tariffs, right? This is what's going on right now. You know, we always have been a nation off of tariffs before, right? Trump knows the history of this country. He knows what's going on. Well, what I'm saying is simply this, though, Omega and Joe. I'm just saying simply this. He is the best opportunity we have. You don't have nobody else. I'm putting it all on Trump. We can agree to disagree on some stuff, but I'm putting it on Trump, man. And this is exactly what it is, though, man. You know, because like I said, the tariffs, because who's causing all the inflation? It's the Federal Reserve Bank. Tariffs don't cause inflation. The central bank does. And as long as that entity stays in power, we're going to still have a problem. You know what I'm saying? We're going to still have a problem in this country. The Federal Reserve Bank must go. It has to be removed. It has to be removed. Straight up like that. There's no other way around it. We don't benefit from it, right? Because these are our politicians and everything else that's being controlled by the Federal Reserve Bank. It must go. And it will go. Because we know who the missing link or weak link is Lisa, right? Lisa Cook got to go. And he gonna get her. And this is why we got to get rid of the filibuster so we can go ahead and put the people in there, right? You know, I'm 100% support Trump. 100%. No shadow of a doubt. And so far, I've been winning everything because I back Trump. When you back Trump, you always win, right? Anybody else, nobody can fit the shoes of Trump. You know what I'm saying? For what he had to deal with, he's been doing a hell of a job. Handcuffing these suckers, you know what I'm saying? For real. They've been trying to get him. They've been trying to take him out. They don't like the fact that he got this tariff thing going. They are the ones for the Federal Reserve that was responsible destroying American companies and businesses, regulations, so forth, energy regulations and so forth. This is the reason why we're starting to go into a third world, probably worse than that once they get done with it. So I'm riding everything on Trump, and I stand on that with everything I love, 10 toes down, 100%, right? This is exactly what it is. I'm 100% on that because he has the answers to the problem for real, you know, because he knows some things that a lot of us don't know. And I'm willing to admit that, you know what I'm saying? What we got to do is stay on our guard and not allow these silly little things that this other stuff and let that, because we don't want to be leading with that stuff. That's nowhere. What we should be in unison with is making sure that we win those midterms. Therefore, we can go ahead and get rid of these demo KKK rats. We can get them out of here, man. And that's what has to happen. All this other nonsense stuff, man, the problem in the past is too many rabbit holes, and this is done purposely to get you off of the focal point of what's really going on, right? It's the monetary funding, right, of the international banker, or we call them, you know, there's other names for them, you know, private bank, we name it, right? This is what's been controlling America for a long time, since 1913. Yeah, we know that, you know, but I believe what I believe in is Trump got an answer for it to stop the tyranny before it gets really bad. He already has the majority of the people, and he has the military. All I'm asking is for the military people to hold your oath. Remember your oath to this country. You are to protect this country, foreign or domestic. Remember your oath. That's all I'm asking for the military people. Same thing with police officers. Remember your oath. You are to serve and protect, to protect the citizens and not allow this country to be overran by hooligans and criminals and terrorists. Remember your oath. This is all what we should be in unison with right here, because this matters. All that other stuff, that's really one of the reasons I never really talk about it, right? To really be honest. You know what I'm saying? MAGA says, you can't be the third world as a leader of NATO. First world means NATO. Second world means Warsaw Pact. The third world means not involved with NATO. And I do believe that we're going to eventually get pulled out of NATO completely. We should have already been removed from it. We're not the majority holder. Those other European nations are, you know. But like I said before, man, going back on what I was saying, man, this is what I'm talking about. All my stuff is about America. Not that stuff. I'm talking about America. Make America great. Right here. We live here, right? This is the last frontier, is America, right? This go, you ain't got nowhere else to go. It's going to be Executive Order 66. It's going to be unleashed. And anybody in opposition of, we already know what a totalitarian, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be no opinions. Oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. Weapon confiscation, right? Voter suppression, one world government, fascism, all that stuff is on the horizon. We have to be careful. We have to be made very, very careful who our enemy really is. He talks a slick game and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's good to know all these other things, though. But right now, it's all about make America great again, man. And that's what I'm going to continue talking about up until the elections, because this is important. See, you're talking about that other stuff, man, you're going to lose a lot of people. You got to meet people for where they are, man. And where they are is they don't know this stuff. You know, they don't know this stuff like that. You know, I'm not trying to know it all, but here's the thing about it. I got to meet people where they are, right? And when you meet people where they are, where it says about making America great again, that's where you want to start meeting people where they are. We're talking about having elections that are controlled the way it used to be, no mail-in ballots and so forth. We're talking about not suppression of vote, but we want to have it like how we had it of old. You know, we want to make it impossible for the left or anybody to cheat in these elections, right? We want to have fair elections. Voter ID must be submitted. You know, these are the things. We want to make it very, very too impossible for the left to cheat, because if they cheat, they get their way. And I'm advocating that we don't do that, right? We want to make sure that they don't cheat, because like I say, all this other stuff, it ain't gonna be meaning nothing. We don't have a country to save anymore. It's gonna be past tense. So I treat this midterms like I treat it as a national level. And I'm going to be encouraging more and more people, whether you are left, center, or right, you need to get out and vote, and you need to support Trump. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, though. We're not supporting no damn Muslim terrorists / you know what I'm saying, communists, socialists. We ain't doing that, you know. I was arguing with people about the shutdown. They keep talking about it. Let me read what you said before I go any further. Joe says NATO should have ended when the Iron Curtain fell in 1989. It was, again, the NATO thing, we already know all it was is just America. It was America watchdog. America had so many interests in NATO while these other countries fell back. That's why they owe us now. And I'm glad that Trump is getting that money from France and Germany and England. And Germany may not even have it the way their stuff is going. Maybe France too. See what's going on over there. It's this destabilization of the economy over there with all this crap going on. Omega says, I was arguing with people about shutdown. They keep talking about it being Trump's fault. I believe a voter suppression. Too many stupid people abuse their voting privileges. Yeah, I agree with you on that, though, man. They still think that Trump is the main reason as to, and I'm gonna tell you why they feel that is. Even though Chuck Schumer, as we all know, shut it down, but they're saying, well, you should go back to Schumer and give to his ways. Give in and allow the illegals. Everybody should have a chance to welfare and all this other stuff, you know, off the backs of the taxpayer. Because when you already know, when people are already on welfare, they don't care who else get it, as long as they get it. You know, oh, man. So that's how they feel, man. You know what I mean? That's how they feel. And, you know, it's not everybody we're going to be able to reach. Because trying to deal with those people is too far gone, man. And, you know, you're going to reach people more so that's not on the system than people that own the system. Because they think that Trump want to get rid of the system. This is why they're going to align themselves, as you already know, to the left. Just like they aligned themselves to Mondami, you know. This was a definite slap in Trump's face, so they think. They think by voting for Mondami, that was going to be, I'm going to piss him off. I'm going to do, that's all that was, man. It didn't have shit to do with what Mondami was talking about. Yeah, Joe says, Germany and France are in a deep recession. Yeah, they are. Ain't no way in the world they're going to pay that money back. That NATO money is good as gone. You know, Mega says, one simple answer. Nobody talks civics or government. Right, and economic classes, right? By design. The Demo clan thieves with arrogant voters. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They don't teach that stuff in civic. Do they still teach us civic studies? Social, what's that? They still teach that social studies? Do they still teach that stuff? I wonder. It's been a while since I've been out of high school. I'm just curious. I'm curious about that one. I really am. Good question, though. I'm wondering if they're doing that. Yeah, but yeah, you guys. Yeah, over here on some ice. Sorry about that. That nice cold ice is good, boy, I tell you. Yeah, but other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, I should say. Ain't no ladies in here. I always used to saying that. But yeah, man. Yeah, so that's basically what it is, though, man. We know everything ain't gonna be perfect, but at the same time, let me see here. All right. Omega says civics is not social studies. Social studies is the communist version of civics. You know what, Omega? Now, here's the thing about it. You know that I'm brainwashed, right? Because I said social studies. And if I think about it, social studies, the study of social. Boy, I tell you, man. Oh, man. I tell you, boy, they got me again. God done it. Oh, man. Don't I feel foolish? See what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about, right? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Boy, I tell you, the propaganda machine is real. Civics is not. So I know, right? It's a communist version of civics. No civics. Ended in 1997. Government econ ended in 1999. Interesting. They haven't taught civics since the 60s. Oh, wow. Yeah. Let you know how long. That's before my time. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Amazing. That's amazing, man. Mm-hmm. Yep, that is amazing, man. Yep. Oh man, but yeah, but other than that though, man, yeah, this is one of those type of things, man. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming into the room tonight too, man. That's pretty cool. Sometimes the numbers go up even more, man. And sometimes I say I'm gonna try to do one a little later and see what happens, you know. I forgot to send Ralph the link. I actually emailed him the link. Yep. I may be wrong. I'm a product of military private schooling. It's all good. I mean, I appreciate you. I haven't had any military schooling. Never went to West Point. Can you imagine trying to get into West Point? That's a joke. I'm laughing at that my damn self. That's a joke for me anyway. But yeah, it seemed like you could have been in West Point though, Omega. Very easy. You were probably Joe too. Yep. You know? Yeah, but welcome to the chat for people coming in, talking about the midterms and how important it is, you know, with the midterms. This is going to be the biggest important vote of them all. And I'm going to try to have an outnumbered turnout like we did before. I want so many people that support the betterment of this country to show up there at those midterms and things like that and cast your vote, right? This is probably one of the last votes that we ever have, depending on which side it goes. And things. If Trump wins, then we can have futures. We can have the security and for the future votes to be without being tampered with. Other than that, all that hard work goes out the window. Mega said, it is your logic when you title the live stream about no king bullshit because it was true. I don't know. I did that on purpose, Omega. I did that on purpose. I did. You see what you? I'm glad you finally caught on to that and brought that out, Omega. You finally did. You finally did. You finally did, Omega. You did, man. You finally did, man. Oh man, Joe. Yeah, West Point. No thanks. Oh man. But I'm saying though, but Omega, you finally caught that out. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, if I was really an agent on the left, You see, look at that, 20,000. It was 20. Shit. Oh man, and that's terrible, man. That's terrible, Omega. Joe, that's terrible. Omega said, I knew that what you were doing. Omega, you remember last year when I posted about Kamala Harris and her plane? You remember that? I had what, 10,000, 11,000 viewers? Just showing Kamala Harris's Air Force Two. Remember that? It was here at the airport in Detroit. Remember that? It was there. Yep. That was your second biggest. It sure was. That's what I'm saying, man. I would have been monetized if I was going to sell my soul and sell out, which I won't do. It would be easier for me to do this type of nonsense. You know, just put on here no kings. Oh, man, that shit was funny as hell, man. And when they got in there, heard me speaking out against no kings. Oh, man. I picked up some more subscribers that day, though, Omega. Man. Oh, man, that shit wasn't funny. That was funny. And I've been known that, man. You know, just had these old titles about, you know, midterms, Democrats, all this other stuff. Man, shit, they wouldn't have to pay my ass. I'm gonna have to rename this The Big Show with Tony G. I know, right? I'm gonna have to do a little bit more neutralized stuff. I hate clickbait. I hate clickbaiting. I do. Because sometimes they clickbait me too, man. I hate clickbait stuff. Man, this ice is good. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, man, but I hate clickbait stuff, man. Clickbait. Oh, I can't stand it, man. Yeah, clickbait. But yeah, man. But this is where we are right now, man, with this type of stuff. Yep, because I put up that thing, I put down there no kings, right? Little rag bait. I know, right? No rage. Okay, little rage bait to live in the show. I'm gonna start doing that though, man. I'm gonna have to. Because I mean, right now, they see that MAGA stuff. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Remember when I put the Trump stuff up? Every time I put Trump face up in the thumbnail, I get nothing but I get a lot of drawn attention in this room. Okay, Omega says, okay. Okay. All right. Kylie came in. Okay. Talk to you later. Okay. All right, Omega. I'll talk to you later, man. Yep. I invited him on the show, man, again, too, you know. But yeah, Joe, man. That's funny. Man, Joe, I don't think you was even on when I did that No Kings thing. Man, I had over 20,000 viewers in that thing. That was the largest I ever had, man. I had some haters in there, too. I had some bots. I had some trolls. I sure did. That was the largest I had. Yeah. Yeah, man. But other than that, yeah, they don't like stuff like this very much. I'm going to have to start doing a little bit more clickbait stuff. Don't worry. It's on and off year. Okay, right? NYC deserves all it's voted for. Absolutely. They were going to win anyway because they got the whole rigging system over here in New York. It's like they have it over in Illinois and the rest of them. It was no surprise. They over here winning, like, you know, like they won the big old national thing, but that's big for them because they push morale and it brings the energy up on the left, you know. They can feel good that like they accomplished something. You know, they were going to win those blue states anyway. That's why I don't fault the MAGA people over there. Even though MAGA went out there and voted, you know what I'm saying? But they controlled the ballot box. We already know that. We already know that. Look at what they did with California. That Prop 50? Look what they did out there with Gavin Newsom. We knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen. And it did. He redistricted his whole state. The guarantee that California will not be overran by Republicans. We already knew what he was going to do. Yeah. So yeah, man, this is this is big, man. It really is. But I'm gonna start retitling my channel too, man. Man, yeah, just to better fool the algorithm a little bit. It's the clickbait that gets the algorithm working for you. Yeah, it sure is. Cause they'll shadow ban this shit though, man. I'm just saying though, because it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yep, I'm put some stuff in there, blue and everything. Shoot. Ain't I a stinker? I'm gonna go ahead and do it too. On my next one, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. You may see the blue wave. I'm gonna have them in their trunks and shorts at the beach. We're gonna talk about how they won and everything. Oh man, ain't I bad, Joe? Joe, I'm bad on her. Ooh, I am bad. Ooh, I'm gonna do it though. I'm going to do it. Yep. Yeah, because I already know, man, they ain't making this thing go nowhere, man. They said, we see what this dude been doing. Shoot. We ain't gonna, I mean, you see my numbers, man. It ain't been this high, though. And that's okay, though, man. I don't really do this stuff like that. But I need to do it more because I need to have the numbers up so we can convince more people to be out at these polls on midterms and not following all this conspiracy, rabbit hole theory ass type stuff. Even though all of it ain't conspiracy. It's conspiracy going on. Not a theory. Israel stuff is not a theory. I'm in agreement with all that stuff, but I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can be able to get people at these polls. It's all good. It's going to the court though. So Gavin may well not get away with it. I know because what he did was totally illegal. You can't do that type of stuff. You cannot do that. But he went on and did it anyway because they're desperate. We know who's pulling this chain, and they're saying, well, hey, you better do something, though, because if the Republicans take California, we're going to be in deep SHIT. So out of desperation, Gavin Newsom is doing what he do best. Lying, cheating, low down cheat. Don't forget Obama. You know, the fallen Messiah and the arch and the great deceiver. Yeah, he's out here campaigning too, galvanizing his group. Now that they won the mayoral thing and all the rest of this stuff. Yeah, what about Abigail Spanberger? Yeah, what about her? You know, yeah, Abigail Spanberger. You know, what a last name, Spanberger. Yeah. Wasn't she part of the CIA or something like that? Yeah, Abigail. Yeah, Spanberger. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm surprised we ain't really had too many other people that came on, man. Yep, they got my algorithm way down, man. Every time I'm on my main studio, the numbers are even lower on the algorithm, but it goes up higher on my cell phone. I haven't been able to figure that one out though, Joe. I have not been able to figure that one out. Yeah, boy, they got to be doing something. And I'm not even a big guy, man. I'm not even a big dog in this social media space. That's what's so funny about it, man. Conspiracy facts. Yeah, conspiracy facts instead of theories. You're right about that. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is conspiracy facts. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Rothschild has a lot to do with it on so many fronts and stuff like that. Virginia has all the federal workers and retirees. Right. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, that's where she at. Yeah, Abigail Spamberger. Yeah, Virginia, I do believe. You know, so yep. Even here in Detroit, we got us a new mayor. She's a woman. Her name is Mary Sheffield. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a lot of faith in her. It's not just because she's a Democrat, but we're gonna see though, man. I'm gonna stay a little optimistic, and we're gonna see though, Yeah, she would have done better as an independent, but unfortunately not. Yeah, unfortunately not though, Joe. Yeah, I invited my friend in here. He said we're gonna come in here, talk about it, but yeah, I don't see him at all over here, man. I just wanted to let him know about the Israel thing, though. Um, selling Israel military weaponry, things like that. Even the aid is being sold. America has not been donating aid over there for free to Israel. They've been selling it ever since Trump been in power. He's been now I don't know about before, but I'm talking about when Trump been back in office. He's actually been selling them this stuff. So I know what misinformation and what a lot of these Democratic shields and some of these claim to be MAGA Republicans, and they get a lot of this stuff from Candace Owens. It's all good. Progress is happening. Yeah, that's true, Joe. I appreciate it, though, man. Yep, I appreciate it. Yeah, slowly but slowly. You remember my numbers is even lower than that, man. And like I said, it didn't really matter to me very much, though. I was just on just trying to be consistent, coming on here talking about stuff that I think that people need to really know about instead of doing what everybody else do. I don't do the news thing very well. I let them other guys, Devoy and all of them, because I let all those guys do that type of stuff because they're more set up like a news media thing. Devoy is making money. He's doing so well. He has his own producer. It's me. I am the producer. I am this, and I'm a one-man operation for me personally. He has the studio, and congrats on his success. That's all I have to say. But for some of these other people that I don't know if you heard me mention about the dark money backers, that a lot of these influential or so-called influencers, social influencers that are backed by dark money. They have been funding money and things like that. Let me see here. The people that I mentioned, they were making payments out to these influencers up to $8,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? And some as low as $250 and things like that. Plus for viral hits, secrecy clauses. How they have a contract that was reviewed and wired explicitly. What's it, barred disclosure to funding, you know what I'm saying? Choruses, roles, right? These are things that they were doing, It was like a direct violation of basic transparency and ethics because we have a Free Information Act, as you already know. But with the deep money backers, they made sure to keep all the stuff because they had to sign basically a gag order on these people that these influencers, right? So therefore, you don't know the truth. So people like, once again, Olivia Juliana, we're talking about Ariana. She goes by Ari on her channel, but she's also backed by dark money. Sandra Jennings, Eliza Orleans, Lauren Petra, and Suzanne Lambert and David Pacman. You always heard me mention about David Pacman. David Pacman was always really known, though. He was really, really known, as being that. You know what I mean? Yeah, David Pacman and stuff like that. And Beard Adar, this is another one. There's supposed to be like 80 plus others. These are just the top ones. It says that what is it? The confirmed participants is like 13 mil plus combined followers, man. That's a lot of people. And a lot of them are being paid to push propaganda from the left. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. That's just one of those things though, too, man. So yeah, so that's what's been going on though, man. Regards to that. So and then what I also will say is that in my opinion, because you remember how Joe, remember how you said big up Candace Owens? Yeah, Candace Owens to me, I think she's been compromised. But I think what really led it by her being disgruntled. Because remember when Trump won the presidency, second term, right? Really his third, but when he won the presidency the third time, right? What ended up happening? I think Candace Owens thought that she was going to get a position in the Trump and the MAGA thing. And when she didn't get it, she got disgruntled and angry, right? Because she thought that she was going to be a shoo-in being part of the whole MAGA thing. Therefore, she could ascend even higher, right? Through her ascension, right? Making more money and all that. And when she didn't get it, because you remember when he became president, shortly afterwards, it just sounds coincidental, but she started talking against Trump and the MAGA movement, right? Because she was disgruntled. Look at the success that Charlie Kirk have received, right? After his death, and she had a lot more to say after his death, where Charlie couldn't even defend himself personally, because she was very much a part of very, very much a part of Turning Point USA in the beginning, right? Joe says that's why there are not accounts like views. Reviews can all be bought on the dark web. Yep, that's true. No, I stayed away from that stuff. What I say it is, you come out here, put your work in, say what you got to say. And I never really considered myself as a YouTube influencer. I guess that's what they classify me as. I'm just a guy that get on here because I like it. And I try to put out information, mostly factual information. Sometimes I get stuff wrong too, I ain't gonna lie. But I don't do it with malicious intent to sway people from a vote. As far as I'm concerned, I think, bot. Yep. Yeah. There's some bots that come in this room, like one right now. That's obviously a bot. I usually get them more on Twitch than I do on YouTube. Yeah, with the bots. Yeah, they'll send them in this room too. They got them programmed. Anything MAGA, send them in there. Yeah, but that's the thing about it. So what I was saying is that besides Candace Owens, I say Candace Owens, that's one of my things. Candace is an opportunist. My friend told me that. Omega told me that too. He was one of the first that told me that. I had a friend of mine that said the same thing about Candace Owens. How she's an opportunist. She's ambitious for being successful. Who isn't? Right? But she came out originally attacking Trump. She was another feminist, if you remember. And I believe that Candace Owens has always been that feminist. She's still a feminist. You know? That was BS about her being conservative. She used MAGA to elevate her and get her name out there, get her brand up. And as soon as she was able to do that, she jumped off of MAGA as soon as Trump, but she didn't get the position that she thought she was going to get. And that's my personal opinion about that, you know. I bought 1,000 accounts to troll a bastard on Reddit years ago. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, that's what a lot of them do. Yeah, that's what a lot of them do. They get on there with the bots and all that other stuff. I never done that though. I trolled. I just get on there and troll them. Yep. Best $50 I spent. I hear that. Yeah, I admit I never done it. I mean, I never done it the way how you did it. I'm familiar with some of the ways that people do it, but yeah, I never done it. But yeah, but that's about Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. He got a large following. And the question, like I asked the other day, how does Nick Fuentes get a chance to meet Kanye West? You know, here I am out here. How does a guy like that get a chance to meet Kanye West? And then by Kanye West knowing Trump, he was good friends with Trump at the time until he started going into that Jewish stuff. Because, in my opinion, Trump could have been very good for Kanye and Candace if they were really, really legit about, if they had any type of legitimacy. But it was all in that, just to elevate and push their personal gain up. I mean, it's all just a straight up act, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just a straight up act. So for Nick Fuentes and this Nazi stuff or whatever this stuff is supposed to be, how he considered himself a Nazi and all this other nonsense, anti-Semitism and stuff like this. And this guy got a following. I don't follow Nick Fuentes. I know who he is, but he's never been a big thing. What makes this guy so damn special? It's a average white guy talking about controversial stuff. Tucker Carlson, I mentioned about him too. And I know Omega was telling me about Tucker Carlson. I didn't even know that he was the family heir to Tyson TV dinners and prepackaged Tyson foods. I didn't know that. I knew about Anderson Cooper, but I didn't know about Tucker Carlson. I knew Tucker Carlson came from money, though. Because let's just be real, right? Tucker Carlson didn't even need Fox in the beginning. He come from a family. He's another trust fund baby. You know what I'm saying? So, multi-billionaire family alone. But Tucker Carlson, he's obviously an operative that has been bought, you know what I'm saying, siding with the Muslim terrorist brotherhood stuff and all the rest of this stuff. Yeah, I don't rock with that guy either. I never really knew a whole lot about Tucker Carlson. I used to watch him when he was on Fox, but other than that, I wasn't one of these type of guys. I heard of Nick Fuentes. I never sat down and actually watched any of his stuff, man. You know, to really be honest. Another opportunist, though, if you ask me, though. So it's amazing people following these people, man. That's the scary thing to it. These people are following these people, man. So Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, and then who else I was going to mention too? It was somebody else too. But these are the people right here. These are like your main people that are trying to destroy and divide MAGA and destroy them. They want you on Israeli stuff. They want you on this other type of stuff that's simply not true. They wanted to put out all this lies about how Trump gave millions of dollars over to Israel, which is not the case at all. Israel bought those arms and they bought the aid because we already know Israel have so much money over there now, so they can afford to buy Tomahawk missiles. At least Nelson Yahoo ain't coming on his hands and knees like Zelensky begging for Tomahawk missiles and shit. At least he ain't doing that. He said, hey, we got the money. U.S. said we'll sell arms to anybody as long as they're not an enemy in the United States. We'll sell arms to anybody, but you got to pay for them. We ain't going to donate ish. And that's exactly what happened. So these people need to get their facts straight and stop following propaganda. Because we already know where it came from. It came from Candace Owens. It came from Tucker Carlson, straight up the back. And I believe Nick Fuentes, I don't follow him enough, but this is where all this dangerous propaganda stuff is coming from. Do a little bit more research and information instead of running because you're partial to these people. I'm not partial to Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, or Tucker Carlson, right? And you shouldn't be called a personality on any of them. You're supposed to be able to show some type of discernment and critical thinking for yourself. Just like I was able to pull it up in research about this stuff about money that Trump supposed to have been given, which he did not. They said that he was using taxpayer dollars, which he did not, right? They're saying that the money that Trump was using came from taxpayer dollars. It did not. And whether they believe that or not, Joe, that's another whole thing, though. You know? Hey, that's on them if they don't want to believe it, but they want to go ahead and kick the can down the street on conspiracy theory if they want to. It's better to know these factual things. It ain't hard to pull this stuff up just like I did. Simply not true. You can check with Grok. You can check with Perplexity, I believe. You may get pretty much of the same information instead of all this other stuff. This stuff is documented. And anybody that's caught putting out that misinformation, all Trump going to do is come back and sue him. He has done it before. I just asked 60 Minutes and ABC with George Slopinopoulos, right? That bum. Yeah. Can't stand Slopinopoulos, you know? Yeah. But yeah, man. And what's his name? James Corvell. I can't even look at that guy in the daytime, man. Ooh. I can't even look at James Corvell in the daytime, man. It gotta be at night. Make him look better, man. Daytime, oof, horrible. Ooh, man. Yeah, the one that been around since the Clinton administration. Yeah, he needs to sit his behind down too, man. Yeah. But other than that, man, I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut this live down. I thought my friend was gonna come in here and stuff. I got things to do anyway, man. But he said I didn't think he was gonna really come in here, but if he listened to what it is I have to say, I'm gonna tell you this though, Morphe. I thought he was gonna come in here. Yeah, man. If you hear this live, and all I'm asking you to do is research further, just like I did. I don't use Chat GPT because it's liberal, left-leaning, biased crap. You know, Chat GPT is good for certain things. I just don't use them. I use Perplexity, I use Grok, and a few others, but I don't use them at all. What's the other one? Gemini. The ones I only use is those two that I mentioned. That's it. I don't use those other ones, man. And when you use them, it's gonna pull up the sources where they're getting the information from anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, once again, before I go, Trump is not donating money from the United States taxpayer over to Israel. It's not happening. What he's doing instead is that he's charging Israelis for the weapons and aid. They got to pay for it, but he's not coming out of taxpayers' dollars. That's a fact. Yes, so Joe says, see, James Corvell is walking, talking, rage bot. Yeah, I know, rage bait. Man, I can't stand looking at James Corvell in the daytime, man. It got to be at night. Ooh, man. I can't do it in the daytime. Too much in that face. Too hard in the face. Too much. Just too much, man. He gets the chicks. Oh, my goodness, though, man. Oh, man. Oof. Ooh, James Corvell, man. That's, yeah, you better have some money attached to it. Oh, man. Ooh, man, James Corvell. I think he's the worst looking out of the politicians, man. He may have Bernie Sanders beat, and Bernie is up in age. You know, they're oligarchy. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, Bernie. Feel the burn, Bernie. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a special contribution to Bernie. If you know what I mean, though, Joe. Man, that's something else, man. But yeah, man, we went over that, man. So I already said what I had to say. Filibuster need to be removed. Talked about the dark money backers for the social media influencers. We talked about Trump, whether he was giving money to Israel, which is simple. I mean, he's not giving them money, but they're paying for it. The Israelis are paying for military equipment as well as aid. That's a fact. Go and look it up. It's documented. And another thing is the rhinos. We talked about them. They're not exposed. They're already out there, though. They don't offer any type of support towards Trump. These are conservatives that go under the name of Republicans. They support tax hikes. They back gun weaponry control, which is mean removal, confiscation, right? A lot of them are in favor of big government programs because the bigger the government programs are, the more money they steal from who? The taxpayer. And this is why the rhino-ass Republicans damn different than these damn demo KKK rats. Straight like that. Joe said he kills me with his bullshit. Yeah, Bernie been on that bullshit, though, man. He been on that boo-boo for a long time. Bernie Sanders, man, the socialist, got all these kids thinking that Bernie and a whole Hillary Clinton thing, man, or whatever. Because the question would be, none of them asked the question like, how is he going to pay for this type of stuff? That's the question, though. How in the hell are they going to pay for it? Have they ever wondered how they were going to do this? How they were going to pay for it, man? That you're going to have free education and all that. I knew better than that this was a bunch of bull. It's a bunch of bull. Yeah, I got myself a ride, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to get ready to take off. Hey, Joe, man, it's been good for you coming into the room, man, and everybody else as well. And things go. Check it out from the beginning. Share this powerful video stream with your friends and other people because the midterms are important. We already went over filibuster and dark money, whether Trump gave money to Israel, which is not. They bought it. And we talked about the rhino Republicans. So, guys, check it out. And I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out.